Hello.
Hello.
Welcome to Rainbows and Horror Movies.
Yeah, I'm Kayla.
I'm Paige, and we talk about stuff and things. Little bit of everything that has to do with creepiness in life.
You can't say creepiness without penis, so...
oh, damn it! Now I never want to say creepiest again. Ew, I don't want to say it.
You're welcome.
My life.
Oh my goodness. So today we're doing our very first RAHM Reads. I totally forgot where I was for a moment.
What are we doing? Yes.
Where am
Read.
I? It's basically, like I said last episode, it's basically TILs on crack. And we find strange and unusual shit to talk about.
Yep. And if you hear a chainsaw noise in the background, everyone, I'm sorry. It's not anyone getting murdered.
I was going to say,
it's just my
murdered?
neighbors. It's just my neighbors. They're cutting down wood of some kind. And it's a hot summer day, and I just want to close my window, but these fucks decided to get out their chainsaw.
That's fine. Power of editing.
Yes, that's true.
So, yeah, this is our first one. So, I wrote in my notes, I was like, excuse the bugs, because I didn't want to overthink it too much, although, unsurprisingly, I did.
Kayla sometimes has a hard time of just rolling with it. But, yeah, no, it'll be fine. Like, we're gonna read some stuff that we found or have heard of before that we thought you all should know about, so...
Yeah.
I'm excited. I have some poems and a short story. What do you have?
I have.
Hold on, I need to shut this window for real. Like they're not stopping. So hold on. One sec.
Go.
The cat.
Yeah. Sorry.
It's okay.
She has learned that if she rolls on cords. So, like, in Flynn's office, if she rolls on any of the cords, it, like, yanks his headphones down, so he has to pay attention to her. So, she's doing the same thing to me.
God damn it.
Yeah.
Fucking cats.
Love them.
Mine's laying here just peacefully next to me right now.
How old is he now?
For now. He might be tearing up the entire house in a moment.
Oh.
He just turned 6. How about yours?
They're like same age. Dahlia she's either 5 or 6. I don't know.
Nice. Yeah, but no, he's still seriously like a little child on the inside. Like, did you see the SpongeBob meme I posted where it was like, when you're trying to get some sleep at night, but your cat is destroying everything you own?
Yeah.
Oh my god. It's so true. Treats. And then you're just like, Quincy! Or whatever their name is. Yeah, just like, fucking stop. And like, eventually he does, but sometimes he knocks stuff off the counter and it's just a mess.
Yeah.
Because he wants attention or he wants food either way. I mean, I'm the same way, but you can't just knock things off people's tables. You know what I mean?
Yeah, they usually kick you out of their house for doing that. I
know, but he's like a roommate I can't kick out sometimes. Granted, he is my soulmate and the love of my life, but sometimes he's a little dick. Because everybody can be dicks sometimes, but...
Yeah. Are you ready?
I'm ready, Freddy.
Oh, you asked me what mine were about today.
Yes.
Mine are about the... Lillelid.
Oh,
Lillelid. They're like Dutch or something. And then the murders. And then also a, like... Fucking love Cracked. It's 9 creepy urban legends that happen to be true, and they are ones I've never heard before, and I'm fucking stoked.
Hell yeah.
But first, you went to Pride Fest. I want to hear all about that.
Oh yeah, so I went to Pride Fest. Is
it Pride Fest or is it just Pride?
Just call it, I don't know, like I think the kids are just calling it Pride now. I went to Pride in Colorado Springs where I live, and yeah, it was really nice. So I've been to Seattle Pride a bunch of times, and it's huge. Like, you go there to party like the minute the sun goes down and you're by the fountain at the Seattle Center, you know what I mean? You know what I'm talking about? And yeah, like, people just start getting lit. But but this one was a lot smaller, but it was still big enough, you know? But it was just a lot more chill. A lot of families and just all ages were there, and it was so heartwarming to see some of the parents that went with their kids. Yeah, like, that's so sweet. I don't know. It just started to have, like, a moment there. But yeah, it's really cool, and I think that the LGBT community is just a whole lot more accepted now than it was when I was 15 or 16.
Oh, absolutely.
You know, and that was only 10 years ago, but we've come so far from then. And, so it's really cool to see parents just kind of accept it right off the bat. My mom was not that way. We're cool now, but, you know, at first it was like, if you're gay, like, I'm like what? Like, it's the worst thing in the world?
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
I remember.
Yeah, so I don't know, and there was religion in the way and stuff, but eventually she was able to get over that, and that was really cool, and so I feel a lot more accepted now. But yeah, Pride was super fun. So the parade literally had one float, but I don't know, it was still cool to see a community come together, and yeah, I had a lot of fun. I almost got sunburnt, though, because I decided I was too hardcore for sunscreen.
But you had an umbrella, right? In the pictures.
I did have an umbrella. It was really windy, though, so the umbrella turned inside out a couple times. And yeah, it wasn't my umbrella either, so I felt really bad, but I fixed it. It's okay. But it was still like, I didn't have it up the whole time. And it's kind of hard to walk through a crowd with an umbrella, but yeah, the umbrella was cool as fuck. My friend came with all of this shit. They were like, okay, so I have gay earrings you can wear, and this rainbow pin, and here you go. And so we just looked like huge, you know, signs for, hey, we're yeah, we're gay and we're here. And it was really cool just seeing everybody else do that as well. And just, I don't know, I feel like at Pride you can just totally be yourself. Some people are naked, it's fine. Like, you know what I mean? Some people have some people are on collars and leashes, it's fine.
It's basically like a celebration of humanism, right?
Yeah, and just people that kind of feel like they live on the fringes, and yeah, it was really awesome to see everyone come together, and
That's really cool.
I'm still like so happy about it. So
I really want to go to one of those because, like, you know, support and all that shit. No, I haven't, because I don't like big crowds. Oh,
well, go to a smaller one, like go to I don't know, Tacoma, or just a smaller one that they have in that state, not the Seattle one.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I wonder if they have one up in Bellingham. That would be really fun.
That'd be fun. I'm sure they have something.
Oh, probably. It's a huge college town, so.
Right.
That's really exciting. I'm really happy.
Yeah, me too. Yay, Colorado. Right.
Yay, Colorado. So I decided that I actually wanted to start, like, every episode updating you guys a little bit more on, like, the shit I watched so that I don't completely drown you in information on the Sunday episodes. Because I do a lot of media watching, and yeah. Yes. It's like, you gotta break it up a bit, I guess. Exactly. Yes, that was what I meant to say. But before that, actually, I just wanted to remind everybody that the giveaway ends on the 25th, which is next Wednesday when this airs. And the winners will be announced on the 29th. As of right now, we only have 2 submitted, so your chances of winning, chances are really good. And then also fucking Castle Rock comes out next week, and I'm so excited. Oh, cool. Hell yeah. And then, okay, so you know how last week I basically talked about, like, bad bitches? Bad bitches, that's my motherfucking problem. Yeah, I mean, all the time.
All the time.
So I started watching another show that was all about bad bitches, and apparently I'm a bad bitches kick, and that's called Harlots. It's a Hulu original. So you said you don't have Hulu, right?
I don't at the moment, but I have seen probably like half of the first season of Harlots. I do really like it.
Yeah. Oh, I didn't know you saw it. But yeah, I started watching it finally because I kept seeing all the trailers for it, and it was like super appealing. So I really like it. But then everyone keeps talking about Stranger Things. Like, you talked about it, and then
everyone's ready. Everyone's just like, come on, season 3!
Exactly. But then MFM keeps talking about it because I'm only on episode 26, and that was when...
What the fuck?
Yeah.
Finish it. Finish it.
I have like 100 more episodes to go.
I'm really ashamed of you right now. I don't know what to think.
I only found out about it
just
through And That's Why We Drink, and that I only found out about that about a month before we started podcasting. So like, I'm really behind.
So you're just brand new to Stranger Things?
No. Oh my god.
Wait,
no.
What do you mean? Oh, I'm sorry. I totally
I'm brand new to My Favorite Murder.
Oh. We're talking. Okay. I was like, what? You like just finished Stranger Things? Whoa.
No.
Okay. I was concerned.
Everyone's talking about it, so I'm gonna watch it again for like the 5th or 6th time.
Because... Oh god. Okay, so you're not okay. I'm like, my life is a lie. Yes, it is. Sorry.
That's okay. But yeah, so I'm watching that again at the same time as Harlots because everyone keeps fucking talking about it. So I'm like, universe, do your worst. So that's happening.
No, you can't go wrong with Stranger Things, I don't think.
No, not at all. Go watch it right now.
Turn this off and get caught up.
Because we will be talking about it. I think I talked about it a lot already, but
yeah, I mean, maybe when the new season comes out, we can kind of delay the episodes a little bit just to give people a chance to watch them. But like, we are going to talk about it, y'all.
Oh, fuck yeah!
Just so
I don't even. When is
so? Just fast forward through those segments if you don't want to watch the show. But...
Yeah. Okay, so stories.
So who wants to go first?
Well, yours are poems, right?
2 of them are poems and then a short story.
Why don't you go first? And then I'll do my long one, and then you can do your second one.
Okay, let's see. Let's see where I want to start.
I can tell you which one I want you to start on.
Okay.
The Haunting in Connecticut one.
Okay. I think that was I actually haven't seen that movie, but...
Oh, no!
So, well, okay, you guys, I'm sorry, but, it's not that I don't want to, I just haven't yet, but I've known these poems from a really long time, both from movies, and so, have you seen the movie Identity?
Oh, fuck yes.
Okay, so that's actually one of my favorites, probably. It might
I have it on DVD.
Okay, nice. It might be because I watched it it just kind of like imprinted on me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? When I watched it. And, yeah, it was...
I mean...
It was cool. But these poems are from it.
You're telling me about a bunch of movies that you watch when you're younger, and I'm like, this explains a lot.
Oh my god, really? Is it? Oh god. You're probably right.
No offense, but yes, it does.
No offense. Okay. 2 Dead Boys. That one. I'm sorry, I had to, like, go back and forth with my browser. Alright, so, yeah, I love this poem. So, it's basically a poem of, contradictories and nonsense, but it's just so good. And they use it in, it said A Haunting in Connecticut when I looked it up, and, Identity as well. So, here we go. Just sip my water. ASMR for you.
Oh my god.
No, I'm kidding. Even though ASMR is really interesting, but anyway. Alright, so 2 Dead Boys. Ladies and gentlemen, skinny and stout, I'll tell you a tale I know nothing about. The admission is free, so pay at the door. Now pull up a chair and sit on the floor. One bright day in the middle of the night, 2 dead boys got up to fight. Back to back they faced each other, drew their swords, and shot each other. A blind man came to watch fair play. A mute man came to shout, hooray! A deaf policeman heard the heard the noise and came and killed those 2 dead boys. He lived on the counter in the middle of the block in a 2-story house on a vacant lot. A man with no legs came walking by and kicked the lawn man in his thigh. He crashed through a wall without making a sound into a dry creek bed and suddenly drowned. The long black hearse came to cart him away, but he ran for his life and is still gone today. I watched from the corner of the big round table, the only eyewitness to facts of my fable. But if you doubt if my lies are true, just ask the blind man. He saw it too.
Oh my god, I love it. I love it so much.
I love it so much as well. It just flows, man. And yeah, I think they only used one bright day in the middle of the night. 2 dead boys got up to fight. That part in Identity, but I looked it up years ago and found this poem, and it's been one of my favorites ever since.
It's really good. Maybe I'm mixing up the scenes, because I remember the scene in Identity where they say it, and then I also remember the scene in Haunting of Connecticut where they say it, and I don't remember either of them. Does that make sense?
I don't either for sure, but I absolutely love Identity. I was going to ask you if we could watch that and talk about it on an episode.
Oh, absolutely. If you that
Patreon.
That one is it supernatural or is it just psychological?
It's just psychological.
Okay.
I would say.
Well, we're gonna do a psychological thriller episode, and that one I really want you to talk about.
Sweet.
Yeah.
All right.
If you don't mind me gushing over David Fincher for basically an hour, it's fine.
Right. No, it's so good. I totally want to rewatch it.
Oh my god. Yeah. We should have like a John Cusack marathon of like all of his horror movies, because they're actually really good.
That actually would be fun.
Yeah. So why did you pick this?
Like I said, it's just been a favorite poem of mine for a long time, and when you were like, find things to read, like, got some poems in there, so, that was just one I wanted to share, because it's meant a lot to me for a long time. Same with the next poem I'm going to read, but I'll let you go. Take a turn.
Yeah, like I said, I totally overthought this, and I really wanted to read from that psychopath book that I bought. Mm-hmm. And then I also wanted to read, because I bought the whole Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark thing.
Oh, nice.
All of those books, and I really want to start reading them, and I am going to eventually, but not right now. So
if you do want to read, Kayla, go to audibletrial.com/RHM podcast.
Oh my god, what would the audiobook versions of those be? That must be fucking creepy.
Ooh, that must be cool. Maybe they're read by the author. That would be awesome.
Ooh, that would be really cool.
Ooh,
Gotta
look into that.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I picked this one because I found it and it hit really close to home. Like, not in a good way. So
it's never in a good way.
No. So it's also not technically word for word. I found a bunch of different articles on it, so I'm gonna read my notes. So whatever. Doesn't matter. This is on Natasha, aka Aw Satan. And
sorry, 10 points if you know the reference to that.
AKA? What is it from?
AKA. Chris Crocker.
Oh my god.
Man. He's my man. No, seriously.
Flashback to high school.
Did you say flashback?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, man. He's still going and he's awesome as ever, so.
Isn't he like super normal looking now though?
Yeah, but he's still super cute though.
Yeah. He's always been adorable. Anyways, but this is also about the, God, like I said, they're like Dutch or something, but it's Lillelid. So I'm going to say Lilid, but I don't think that's right. Anyways, Lilid. Yeah. So Natasha Cornett was born on January 26th, 1979 in the rural area of Pike County, which is a part of eastern Kentucky. Her mother, Madonna Wallen, had become pregnant with her over the course of an affair with a married local police officer named
Scandal.
Roger. Yeah, right. Scandalous. Well, yeah, it's all scandalous. At the time
people have always been whores. Anyway. What?
Always and
Go
forever.
Yeah.
At the time she was married to her husband, Ed Wallen, but left him when Natasha was still young to raise her alone. Their home was a trailer located on the outskirts of Pikeville, Kentucky. Natasha had a rough childhood and problems with her mother growing up, as do we all.
I was just gonna say, like, yeah. Like, isn't that just life?
Yeah, life, angsty teens. No. This is literally
totally.
Angsty teen story. There's nothing.
Okay, that puts it into perspective now.
Yeah. I think she ends up going to jail by the time she's 19. So literally all this happens when she's a teenager. So around the time of junior high school, Natasha found herself to be an outcast due to how she dressed and behaved. She also suffered from anorexia and was diagnosed with bipolar disorder. During high school, Natasha was hospitalized for 11 days for her bipolar, but had to leave when her healthcare benefits stopped, even though she'd been classified as a danger to herself and others. Great.
Did you just say at the beginning this hits too close to home?
Yeah.
Shut up! It's no, it's keep going. But at least we didn't end up in jail, though.
I know. I
mean, no offense to people who have been in jail, but that's like my worst fear.
Yeah, going to jail. Oh my god.
That's another phobia of mine. But
of jail time.
Just going to jail, getting in trouble. Like, sometimes innocent people get framed. Like, it's fucking awful.
Oh my god.
They just take your life away.
Yeah,
I've watched too many documentaries.
Oh my god, when they're like trying to... Oh my god, I've told everybody on the podcast how much I hate it when movies do that, where someone's trying to convince the other person of something because it's like life-threatening or life-changing, and they just will not believe them. And it's very similar in situations like that, where like, I didn't kill them. Well, the evidence says otherwise, but I am literally telling you that I did not kill them. So, God.
Yeah, exactly.
Fucking money. Anyways.
What happened to Natasha? That's her name, right?
Natasha.
I'm really bad with names.
That's fine.
What happened to Natasha?
While it does not excuse or explain her actions, it may have contributed to the tragedy. Cornette began listening to... did I already say that? I only briefly. So, Cornette began listening to dark music and wearing black clothing. Her mood got...
Yeah. Goth girlfriend.
Her mood was even darker. An officer who spoke to Cornette after her arrest described her as a vampire who worshipped Satan.
Oh, yeah.
He went on to say she was on the dark side and very bitter towards everybody.
Oh, man. I mean, come on. Yeah, and?
Even Natasha's mother later said that there were 3 versions of her daughter. There was the sweet, caring girl, there was the girl who would do anything for her friends, and there was a dark side that liked to play on a Ouija board, do seances,
oh my God,
and play video games. It's like my childhood.
Dude, it is, but like, whoever wrote this is fucking... Oh, I love it. Go on. Oh, man. Like, yeah, is that anything, like, not normal?
I know. It's like they're just blaming her fucking hormones for everything. It gets worse,
like, I'm sorry, I like to listen to Slipknot and, like, I don't know, do stuff. Anyway.
Do stuff?
Happened? Yeah, I was thinking of, I don't know, so many things.
She had long since embraced the gothic culture. No. I missed a sentence. When Natasha was 17 years old, she married one of her longtime friends, Stephen Cornette. When he ended the marriage, running off only after a matter of months, Natasha was devastated. I mean, same.
I mean, she got married at 17.
Exactly. she had long since embraced the Gothic culture, dressing appropriately in dark clothing and listening to the same genre of music, but the loss of Stefan, either way, prompted her to embrace the life more completely. She had already that's English typo. She had also already been abusing drugs and alcohol, as well as engaging in self-harm behaviors. Some younger, more impressionable people who were similar to Natasha were drawn to her, as they were also outcasts at school, and she became somewhat of a leader in a small group of Gothic outcast teens.
Hell yeah. Vampire queen.
Right? Oh, you should. Oh my god. I'll show you a picture when we're done. But
oh, yes. I really do want to see.
She is. So, this
cool.
is going on to the murders. And
the murders?
The murders.
God. I'm just glad that I didn't murder anyone.
Right. Yeah. We'll talk about that in a minute. But yeah.
Okay.
On April 6th, 1997, Natasha decided she wanted to escape from the small town she hated, and on an impulse with several friends, ran away, supposedly burgling 2 homes and stealing 2 guns. So that's, I don't know why, but nobody knew how they got the guns. So, like, it was all speculation as to how they got the guns.
Well, Kayla, I mean, they'll sell guns to 13-year-olds. It's fine.
Especially in the 90s.
Oh, hell yeah. They probably just, like, went to a pawn shop or just, like, got them somehow. Like, it's really not hard to get a gun, obviously. No. Hint, hint.
Hint. Oh, my God.
Fuck the government. Anyway. So they got the guns. The other members of her posse were squad
goals.
Squad goals. God. No, it's not squad goals if you murder someone. But I remember being that age and sometimes thinking, like, yeah, that would be fine. Like, I could get away with it. It'd be cool.
Well, that's the thing. All these people are under the age of 20. And Flynn actually asked me when I was writing this, he was like, how old were all the people who were following Manson? And I was like, oh shit. They were all like under the age of 25.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, when people leave high school or leave their parents' house, they fucking realize how terrifying the fucking world is.
Oh, for sure.
Oh my goodness. Don't join cults, people. It's not good.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, the other members of her posse were Edward Dean Mullins, 19, Joseph Lance Risner, 20, Crystal R. Sturgill, who was 18, Jason Blake Bryant, who was 14. That's fucking young. And
yeah, that's super young.
Dahlia, she's bringing me her baby.
What's that?
Can you hear that?
What's her baby?
Oh, it's like a little fluffy thing. So she had it on a stick, and then she broke it off, and now she literally just carries it around in her mouth and howls.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Just going around the house screaming.
Yeah, it's great when we're trying to fall asleep. And the last person is Karen R. Howell, who is 17. So we have 19, 20, 18, 14, and 17.
That 14-year-old, God.
Yeah. Oh, it gets worse for him.
Wow.
So their plan was to start... Oh my god. By the way, this is going to be like another sign for you. Their plan was to start a better life in New Orleans.
Oh, God. Well, at least I'm not going to murder anyone before I go there.
Yeah.
But anyway.
Just by chance, they ran into the, like I said, I don't know how to say this, but it's the Lylid family at the rest station of an interstate highway in Greenville, Tennessee. This family was Vidar Lylid, who was 34, his wife Delphina, who was 28, their daughter Tabitha, who was 6 years old, and son Peter, who was 2. They were Jehovah's Witnesses, and they attempted to convert the group of teens by stopping to preach to them.
Wait, do you have a moment to talk about Jesus Christ?
Yeah. Okay, so I was going to talk about all this afterwards, but literally this hit hard with me. So at one point when I was living over on the island, no, it was Bainbridge. We went to this art festival in Paulsbo. And, you know, art festivals, it's all like hippies and kids and families and stuff like that. Well,
my crowd.
Yeah, exactly. And these guys decided to pitch up and start preaching fire and brimstone as loud as they could to all these families sitting in the green, just like eating food. And
get the fuck out of here.
Exactly. So I was running with like a bunch of people at that time. We were there with like brothers and sisters of friends, so they were all really young. I think the oldest person there was like 28. And they started screaming at us, and there was so much fight that like all the people in our group were literally like in their faces yelling back at them because they were doing the exact same thing. And someone went out and bought a Bible and literally brought it back and burned it in front of them. And
well, I mean, that's a little bit too far for me, like right in front of them. Like,
yeah, well, okay, so it was a bit much.
The effort.
Exactly. No, but like if anyone had thrown a first punch, that would have been out of control. But these guys, like, they really had it coming, but the whole thing was stupid. It shouldn't have happened in the first place. But then, like, they were yelling about homosexuality, and oh my god, you'd be so proud of me. The girl I was with, I was with Flynn, but I was kind of like not really with Flynn, so I went over to them and we started making out. Me and the girl, my friend who was a girl. We just started making out in front of him, and they were just like screaming at us. I could literally feel his breath on me. He was screaming in my ear, and it was like,
oh my god.
It was so chaotic. I loved it, but it was also really scary because it could have gotten really violent.
You're like, that's enough social interaction for 10 years.
Exactly. Maybe that's why I have an issue.
All came down to that, but yeah.
So, hey, stop it. God damn it, cat. The teens stayed and listened for a moment as a distraction. And while they were listening, they noticed that the van that the Lilids were traveling in was much nicer and more spacious than the car that they currently had taken from home. When the family was distracted enough, a gun was pulled on them and used to hijack the vehicle, and the group drove off with the Lilid family held hostage. The gang drove the family to a deserted area of Baileyton, Tennessee. Okay, this isn't actually confirmed. Like, I read 3 different articles, and all 3 of them said a different town, so don't yell at me about facts. They, once out of the car with their children, they were shot repeatedly. Vidar Lilid, 34, was found shot dead in a ditch. In his lap was his 3-year-old daughter, Tabitha. She had been shot too and died on the way to the hospital. Nearby was Vidar's American wife, also shot dead. Cradled in her lap was their youngest child, who survived the accident. He had been shot through the eye and in the torso.
Oh, God.
As a result, he had been left blind in that eye. Yes. And
dude,
had been
was
rendered...
he the sole survivor?
Yes.
Oh
yeah.
My god, that poor guy.
Yeah, so it's good for him. Anyways,
meanwhile, but fuck.
Yeah, Natasha and her gang decided they better book it to Mexico in order to get away from the law. They were apprehended by customs and immigration officials in Arizona after Mexican police ordered them to return to the U.S. for entering Mexico without the proper documentation. So, the teens were moved back to Greenville, Tennessee to be tried. All 5 of them were convicted of the murders, even though it was never actually clear who pulled the trigger. Natasha was advised by her first lawyer to go for an insanity plea, and as such made up all sorts of weird claims and stories, one being that she was the daughter of Satan.
Just Satan himself.
Yeah.
I'm the daughter of Satan, so I don't want to go to jail.
Well, because she used to, seeing as she used to sign her name, Satan, which is Natasha spelled backwards.
Oh,
and,
God.
Yeah,
this ultimately
ended up harming her more than it helped her, and by the end of the ordeal, she pleaded guilty to all charges to avoid the death sentence. Even with this, her court testimony established that she did not participate in the shooting of the Lilith family. Some speculation has it that the group decided to try and blame the murders on Jason Bryant. He was the 14-year-old. And,
oh, God.
Yeah.
Of course. He did it.
Yeah. Yeah. So,
he did
it. They believe that if he took the blame for the murders, he wouldn't be tried as an adult, and the rest of them would get lighter sentences. But
come on.
Didn't work out because Jason was like, fuck y'all. And he was like, no, I'm not going to do that. So it caused a massive confusion, and each of them eventually admitted to first-degree murder, and each of them received 3 life sentences.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, so... See, this is where... Okay, I'm sorry, Paige. Since her arrival at the prison in Nashville, Natasha has earned her GED and a certification in cosmetology.
Why is that relevant at all, though?
I don't know, because, so she's, like, reforming herself. She's reforming herself, and she's, like, teaching other girls how to get their GED, and she's like, I'm still a Satan worshiper, but I'm doing good, and all that kind of stuff. But the little kid who survived, he's now... See, I hate this a little bit. He's fine. He's obviously blind and disabled, but he's like a full-time Lutheran pastor.
Damn.
So, Jehovah's Witness. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So.
Maybe he saw God. Who knows?
But,
damn.
Yeah. So all of it kind of like, it was one of those situations where I read the article and I was like, this is like worst case scenario of what could have happened during my teens.
Worst case. Well, so do they know what happened? Who did it? Or did anybody fess up? Really?
They never... Well, it does say... What did it say?
So why did they even do it? Just for fun?
Yeah, for shits and giggles.
They just shot down a family?
Well, because they were preaching to these goth kids.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
so
damn.
They were, like, offended or something.
Well, whose gun was it?
They stole the guns.
Oh, yeah, they just...
Yeah. So they stole the guns, stole the car, and they wanted to have a fresh start in New Orleans. And
stole a gun, stole a car, gonna murder some peeps.
Yeah.
Alright, I'm here. No.
I'm ready for my good life.
Work
They're all in prison. They are all... Yeah. So the end of it is... I couldn't actually find much on anybody else besides Natasha, but it just says all of them eventually admitted to first-degree murder, and each of the 5 received 3 life sentences. I think they could have each shot the gun. I mean, because there was only 5 of them, and there were 2 guns, but then the whole family died. So, I don't know.
Yeah.
Ugh.
They just went on a fucking joy spree.
They got real far.
They real far, right?
Oh my god.
When did this happen? What year?
97.
Okay. Good year.
Good old 90s.
Good year. Wow, yeah, that is worst case scenario.
Yeah.
Fuck. No way.
Like, hated by her mother because she listens to weird music. Fucking suffering from a mental disorder that she can't address because of fucking government shit. And, yeah, needing a family, running off, starting a new life.
Just murdering some people on the way to Louisiana. God. That's not how you start a new life.
I know.
I mean, maybe in, like, the 1500s or something.
Maybe, yeah. Like Bonnie and Clyde style. Even though that was, like, the 20s.
That's not... No, even in the 20s, they had bullies and shit.
Yeah. They were stupid, though.
No, what do you mean?
Like...
What do you mean they're stupid?
Well, I'm like I said, I'm like binging on My Favorite Murder, and they keep talking about like different decades and stuff. Apparently before the 50s, the police were pretty much worthless.
True.
And they weren't even a true police system. Like, they didn't even have 911 until, like, I think it was, like, the early 80s or the late 70s.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I actually didn't know that.
Yeah, I mean, I only really kind of heard it on whatever. Yeah, it's interesting.
Yeah. Well, sorry, Natasha.
Yeah. I mean, sorry to that family. Fuck. They were just trying to preach a little love.
They could just been like, nah, fuck off, and walked away. Exactly. Or just like, bye.
They learn self-control. I'm surprised they weren't, the story didn't turn from, like, preaching family turns to, like, sacrifices and stuff.
Right? I mean, realistically, you can't get away with much anymore. No. So they're just like, and it probably was just like heat of the moment.
Oh, yeah.
They're like, fuck you and your god. Bang, bang. As bad as that is.
Yeah.
But, you know, yeah.
Oh my god. All right.
Shit, well, thank you for sharing.
Yeah. I'll bring something a little less, like, hitting close to home next time. But I had to share this.
I mean, that is worst case scenario. Like, I think we're doing pretty well.
Yeah.
I think we're doing pretty well. We turned out alright. What do you want to do next?
You have 2 more things, right?
Yeah, so either a poem or a story, vote.
Do story.
Story, alright. So this is a short story that I found on Reddit.
Ooh.
Good old Reddit. The no sleep.
Oh shit.
Part. Oh shit. Yeah. And the username is the odd cat lady. And relatable. Like, come on, relatable. So, it's called Under the Back Porch.
Oh no.
Ooh. Oh no. Prep yourselves.
Shudder is a premium streaming service devoted exclusively to horror and thrillers.
They have thousands of hours of killer content, including Shudder originals.
They also have really awesome curated collections, so if you like demons or witches or ghosts, there's definitely a collection for you.
My favorite collections are A Woman's Touch and The Foundations of Horror.
Mine are A Comedy of Terrors and Haunted Habitations.
So go check out Shudder.com and use the code RAINBOW for your 30-day free trial.
That's Shudder.com. Use the promo code RAINBOW for your 30-day free trial.
Hey, Kayla!
Yes, Paige?
Did you know that Stephen King reads and listens to approximately 70 books per year?
Unlike me, who can barely get through one.
Well, for whatever reading level you're at, you can find the perfect book for you at Audible.
Head to audibletrial.com/RAHM podcast to get a free audiobook and a free 30-day trial.
And if you're looking for recommendations, I suggest The Bell Jar by Sylvia Plath, a classic.
And the one book I've actually managed to read was 20th Century Ghosts by Joe Hill.
That's audibletrial.com/RAHM podcast. Go get your free audiobook and free 30-day trial. Bitch. I'm sorry.
Bitch?
As a kid, I lived with neglectful parents at best. At worst, Dad would turn his screams and fists on me, but I learned quickly how to dodge the worst of it.
Jeez.
Mom wasn't much help. She'd just smoke in the kitchen and bitch at him for staying out so late. Also relatable, but
yeah.
that really... Sorry, Dad. We're cool now, but yeah. Anyways, at the time, we lived basically in the middle of nowhere. Our nearest neighbors were a long walk away for a 6-year-old, and we had trees between us. No one to run to for help. But I was pretty small for a kid my age. I learned I could fit pretty much anywhere. The closet, dryer. I even once tucked myself under the futon in such a way I could still get some air, but no one could see me. I was a master at hiding, but it wasn't for a good reason.
Oh no.
Oh no. One night I chose to do something different. I could hear it in Dad's yells. He was pissed and just about to get violent. Mom wasn't helping either, just piling fuel onto an inferno of a flame. So I knew I had to find a good hiding spot. I'd gotten the idea a few days before, when I realized the lattice covering the bottom half of the porch had a hole in it. Not big enough to fit a full-grown man, most likely, but it could fit a skinny 6-year-old, no problem.
Oh.
So wrapping myself up in a blanket and grabbing my hippo stuffy.
Aww.
Of course, always gotta get the stuffy.
Yeah.
I snuck out my window and ran into the backyard. In the middle of autumn, when it was 40 degrees out and the temperature was steadily dropping. I crawled under the porch, scraping my elbows and getting splinters in my palms, but I fit inside. It was actually quite spacious compared to most of my hiding spots. I couldn't sit up all the way, but I had plenty of room to spread out my limbs. Of course, I was also getting covered in dirt. It rained a few days before, so the mud was still a little wet. I wrapped myself in the blanket the best I could and settled in for the night. But soon, even with my blankie and hippo, just blankie and hippo stuffy, that's just me too. So anyways, but soon, even with my blankie and hippo, my teeth were chattering so hard I could barely breathe. I didn't want to go back inside though, knowing if my dad caught me, I'd be in for the whipping of my life. Fuck. So I had to tough it out. Honey, are you cold? The voice was not the voice of my mother.
Nope.
Scratchy from all this smoking and screeching she did. It was sweet like honey. I turned over to see the dim outline of a woman lying on her stomach next to me. She had a pretty butterfly necklace and was just as dirty as I was. I nodded, not wondering how she'd been down there without me noticing.
Oh.
The woman belly crawled forward and wrapped her arms around me, and suddenly I became warm, like I was sitting next to a campfire. I snuggled into her arms, not minding the mud. After all, we were both dirty. You've gotten so big, the woman said, examining my face. How old are you now, Alex? 6.
How the fuck would she know?
Hold on.
Oh god, sorry.
6. How did I know this woman again? I didn't think I did. 6, the woman gasped. You're all grown up then. I'm so happy. She sighed pleasantly and stroked my hair. I'd never felt so cozy in my life. What's your name? I asked. She smiled. I could hear it in her voice. I'm Lily. What's your favorite thing to do? I had to think for a second. I like board games and coloring.
Same.
Also same. Lily chuckled. Just like me then. Same with Lily. Homie. Just like me then. Could never get enough of Scrabble, but I guess you're still too young to play that, huh? I nodded. Lots of words. I want to play it, though. I like the tiles. Would you play with me? I heard Lily sharply inhale. I don't think I can.
Oh, God.
Your daddy put me under here and I can't leave, but...
No!
Oh, I'm sorry. My cat just got outside. Oh, shit. My real life cat.
Is everything okay?
Right in the middle of the story. Yeah, it's fine. He literally opened the screen door.
Oh, God.
And just went outside. But anyways, so... yeah, Lily likes to play Scrabble. She said, yeah, so she's under there. She can't leave. She thought for a second. Alex, could you do me a favor?
Nope.
Of course. This lady... You're just like, nope, just crawling out of there.
Bye.
Of course. This lady was oh so nice. Why wouldn't I do her a favor? When you wake up in the morning, go to the police station. Ask for the officer by the name of Lowell Joyce. Tell him where to find Lily, okay? Under your back porch. He'll come and get me, okay? And then maybe we can play Scrabble. Yay! I was so excited about the possibility of playing Scrabble to notice how Lily's voice was caught at the end. I nodded vigorously. I'll do it. We can be on the same team, right? She softly laughed. I'll help you understand the rules. Good night, Alex.
Oh, God. What kind of game is this shit? Sorry.
She does this when watching movies too, y'all. She's just like, oh fuck no. When I woke up the next morning, I heard Lily's voice. Go now, your dad's gone to work. I'll tell you how to get to the station. Rubbing my eyes, I crawled out from under the porch and went into the house to grab my shoes and a coat. I shivered in the frosty cold, but I thought Lily was right behind me. After the shoes and coat were on, I started walking. It was long enough to get to the neighbor's house. I really can't remember how long it took to get to the police station, although I have no idea why no one pulled over to see what the hell a 6-year-old in dirty pajamas was doing walking alongside the road.
Right.
Big mood. Lily kept guiding me onward. Wait, okay, cross the street now. Turn right here. Keep going. You've almost made it.
Wait, she's not behind him.
She is.
Oh, she is? Because he said I
said,
looked behind at me, and she...
Oh, she's still there, yeah. So she's guiding him on.
Okay.
You've almost made it. I nearly collapsed with exhaustion by the time I walked into the station. The guys out front chatting and having a good time didn't see me until I almost made it to the front desk. Whoa, kid, you okay? One of the officers knelt down to my level, eyes wide. I nodded. I'm okay. Can I speak to Lowell Joyce? I asked. One of the officers picked me up. Sure, kid. Let's just get you someplace warm. Holy shit, your lips are blue. I remembered quietly scolding the man about watching his language. Shit was a bad word. I was given some warm cocoa and wrapped in a blanket by the time an old man with a graying mustache sat by me. Hey kid, I'm Sheriff Joyce. What's your name? He asked. Alex. I set down my cup and looked him straight in the eye. I was told to tell you that Lily is under the back porch. You need to go let her out so we can play Scrabble.
Oh my god.
Oh my god. Right? He's I had never seen a grown man turn pale before. Lots of things blurred together at this point. I remember being taken back to my house and there was a lot of police cars and people around. The back porch was surrounded by yellow tape and someone was taking a black bag away while my dad was in handcuffs. Fuck. After that, I lived with my grandparents, Sheriff Joyce and his wife. I tried to ask what happened and who was Lily, but I always got shut down. I was too young to know. But life got better, a lot better. Grandpa was the best man I could have asked for in my life.
Wait. His grandparents was the sheriff?
Yeah.
Okay.
But he didn't, his grandparents were the sheriff. But of course, he didn't know that because he didn't know his grandpa's real name.
Yeah.
When he was 6, So, anyways, Grandpa was the best man I could have hoped for in my life. We went out on weekends to the movies where he let me have the giant soda, even though I'd have to pee in the middle of the movie. Fucking kids. No. I mean, same though. When I asked if I could drink when I was 13, he let me try a beer. I spat it out and didn't touch it again.
Yep.
He never judged me for my love of art, letting me paint my own bedroom multiple times over the years.
Aww.
I felt safe around him. He never laid a hand on me. My grandmother was amazing too. Over the week, she'd homeschool me along with teaching me things that you wouldn't learn in a school, such as how to respect others but not take their crap. Also big mood. In cooking. Lots of cooking. I could make my own birthday cake by the time I was 12, but usually I just made them for my friends. I got a lot of those after I was free from my dad. When I turned 16, Grandpa took me back to my dad's house. The whole thing had been bulldozed over, but I could still see the yellow tape wound around the trees, faded and torn. We sat together on the back of his truck. He opened a beer and drank half of it before setting it down and grabbing me an orange soda. After I drank it, he told me, Lily was your mother. Good thing he didn't tell me as I was swallowing. Yeah. I likely would have had it coming out of my nose. My mom? I questioned, confused. Your actual mom. The woman who lived with your dad wasn't your mother. My granddad grabbed another beer. Lily was my daughter. I loved her so much, but when you were about 6 years old, she vanished. My stomach dropped. My dad just imprisoned her under the porch? I asked, starting to feel sick. Grandpa took a deep breath before setting his unopened beer down. That's something I've never been able to understand. Lily told you to find me, and that she loved Scrabble? Yeah, she kept me warm that night. I probably would have froze to death if she hadn't been there. I was such a stupid kid. Even I knew that. Grandpa went dead quiet before he opened that beer and slammed the whole thing. Alex, Lily had been dead the whole time she was gone. When we dug her up, she was bones. Experts confirmed it. Your dad confessed to what happened. They'd gotten into a fight and he threw her down the stairs. She broke her neck. He clenched his fists. I knew he had something to do with her disappearance, but I never had proof until you walked into my station, covered in dirt, telling me she was under the porch. I was floored. I couldn't breathe. All I could do was shake my head. But I saw her. She was alive. She had that butterfly necklace. I trailed off when Grandpa pulled an evidence baggie from his pocket. There was that butterfly necklace, all right. Rusty and parts of the paint had chipped off, but I remember it as clearly as I remembered Lily's voice. Grandpa took a shaky breath as he passed the bag into my hands. Lily loved you so much. It's why she stuck around, that bastard. You were her whole world. She was constantly taking pictures and sending them to us in the mail. Sometimes a mother's love can accomplish things no human can do. My eyes overflowed with tears as I clutched the necklace to my chest. Choking on sobs, I leaned against Grandpa. He held me tight, and I swear I felt a few tears land on the top of my head. And just for a brief moment, I swear I felt that warm love I felt under the porch that night.
Oh my god. That's so
tears.
sad.
I know.
Oh my god.
So good job, Odd Cat Lady.
Yeah.
On Reddit. I really liked it. So.
Okay, what's the difference between no sleep and creepypasta?
Okay, so I hate to admit this, but I'm pretty new to Reddit. I know, noob, like, sorry about it. Like, I always knew it was a thing, but I never spent a lot of time on it. But I have a really good friend who is into it, and I asked him, like, hey, where do I find, like, good stories? So I think he said no sleep was like creepypasta, but maybe a little bit darker. I don't know. Reddit people help me out. I really don't know the difference, but yeah.
Yeah.
It's kind of similar, I guess, but I think it's more like people's short stories and stuff.
Yeah, I think that's what Flynn said too. I think that I've asked what creepypasta is enough. I think creepypasta are stories that no one really knows if they're true or not. Whereas no sleep, I think, are just fictional stories.
That makes sense, because creepypasta had this really awful SpongeBob one that not awful, but like really creepily awful SpongeBob story, or they had like theories about things in creepypasta.
Yeah, and then Slender Man,
yeah.
Of course.
Oh, God. Okay, maybe this is unpopular opinion, but I personally think that the new Slender Man movie was in really bad taste. Or just, like, the time that it came out or something. Because of the stabbings. Or the stabbing. I think it keeps getting pushed back for some reason.
Yeah, it does.
But I don't know. Just because, like, the real life stabbing, I'm like,
Yeah. It's all in bad taste. But that's what, like, we're in that business, right? Everything's in bad taste. Killing dogs, killing cats, killing babies, stabbing people, it's fine.
I know, but the real life Slender Man stabbings happened, and then, you see, like, the Slender Man trailer, and it's like, God, like, somebody almost died. I don't know.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Do you not like real life based horror movies?
Oh no, I mean I do, but it was just really soon.
When did that happen?
It happened a couple years ago. I've been following the girls case through the courts and stuff for a couple of years now, I think.
When did that happen? Oh god, yeah. That happened on May 31st, 2014.
Yeah, I've been following it for a while.
Is that what the movie's based on?
No. It's just a different story, but it just had to do with Slender Man though at the same time. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I get what you're saying.
And like the families are like, come on, our kids have been through. I mean, it ruined kind of 3 people's lives.
Yeah.
Except for the girl, she miraculously survived, thank God. But
yeah, 19
badass.
times.
God.
Oh God.
So, anyway, yeah, I'm very intrigued with the Slender Man case.
Okay, I'll do mine, and then we can, like, exit with your poem.
Cool.
Coolio. So mine, like I said, is from Cracked. It is 9 unbelievable urban legends that happen to be true. I found Cracked, like, I think 5 years ago. But then I totally forgot about it until MFM again. And because Karen is obsessed with Cracked, and I love it.
Nice.
Okay, I'll just read this word for word. Halloween is that special time of year when you can casually tell tales of murder, mayhem, and mind-flaying horror around the water cooler or dining table without anyone assuming you're a psycho. Not true. I can do that every fucking day of the year. Most spooky legends are merely gruesome fictions designed to warn kids away from taking candy from strangers or humping in cars parked on secluded country roads. Or at least that's what we tell ourselves. As it turns out, a gut-twistingly large percentage of them have been happening to real people like you. We've already shown a shaky flashlight on these terrifyingly true campfire tales 8 times before, but there's so much more factual horror out there that this year we've managed to put together our longest and disturbingest collection yet. A girl is silently murdered in a library and nobody notices. The legend of this one is libraries with their unnerving silence and many musty forgotten corners naturally attract whispered tall tales. Of course, most of these stories are about people sneaking off back to the periodical section to I love the wording in this, to dewey each other's decimals with sensual...
Oh, hell yeah! Oh, yeah, baby, you want to dewey my decimal? Like, okay, I'm stealing that officially.
Is that your new pickup line?
Yes, it is. You want to dewey my decimal in the periodic section? Oh my god! Okay, so fucking in the library.
Yes.
Cool.
But there are also darker legends. Who can forget the horrifying tale of the dead woman who supposedly stalked the New York Public Libraries back in the 80s? Some spooky shit right there, but the reality is even spookier. The truth is, Penn State student Betsy Ardsma was beautiful, bright, popular, and socially conscious. If she was a character in a horror flick, she'd definitely be the last survivor, but real life is more frightening and cruel than any movie. On November 28th, 1969, Betsy told people that she was going to the university's library to research a paper, but what she got instead was a single deadly stab wound to the chest. And while librarians tend to discourage cold-blooded murder in the stacks, most would have approved of how silently the crime was carried out. Despite the numerous other students being only feet away from the crime scene, nobody heard a single sound of struggle. Betsy wasn't discovered until several minutes later, and initially nobody realized what had happened to her because her red dress camouflaged any blood stains. To this day, the circumstances surrounding Betsy's death remain a mystery, so beware, college students. The next time you're sent down to the stacks for a research paper, tedium and possibly stepping on a used condom aren't the only things you have to fear. God.
Well, you know, I worked at a library. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
For about 3 years. And I can't recall anybody fucking in the library, even though that would be, I mean, hot. But,
that library was so small, though.
I mean, yeah, but you could hide in the fiction section if you're quick. But but it's weird that she didn't make a sound at all. Like nobody heard anything, and just, you know, they turned a corner and was like, "Whoa,
whoa, whoa, whoa!" Yeah,
there's a dead girl.
Fucking, I fear that day if I ever come across like a dead body just randomly. I'm like, holy fuck.
It might happen, man.
Oh god. Don't say that. Anyways, number 8 is cause of death, atomic wedgie. The legend. Since most kids will only listen to reason if you scare the shit out of them first, there are plenty of tales about the potential dangers of youthful pranks and hijinks. Putting a potato in an exhaust pipe will make the car explode in a giant fireball. Kids have been shot for TPing houses. One time, a kid died from an atomic wedgie. The truth. Obviously, that last one isn't true. The victim wasn't a kid. The rest is correct. Apparently, pulling the perfect wedgie is possible, so long as you don't particularly care if your victim lives or dies. One fateful day, a 34-year-old man was arguing with his 58-year-old stepfather and decided to grab his undies and give him an atomic wedgie.
Jesus.
Shockingly, the police say alcohol had played a factor in the plan. The man managed to get his stepdad's underwear over his head, but the waistband caught around his throat, resulting in a death that was simultaneously horrifying and America's Funniest Home Videos worthy. Ironically,
Ugh.
after being arrested, the man claimed that the fatal wedgie was revenge for all of the years his stepfather had spent bullying him. Live by the wedgie, die by the wedgie.
Jesus. So, like, years of pent-up shit in one wedgie.
Yeah. Holy fuck.
That's intense.
That's some stretchy underwear.
Yeah. Right?
Number 7. A killer lives hidden in a family's house for weeks before murdering them. I think that this one was based, did you watch the Netflix original Open House?
Yeah.
I think that this...
I did, because I'm trash.
It was so bad. Oh god.
But whatever. I loved Full House, so fight me.
Full House?
Oh shit. You said Open House.
Yeah.
Oops. Oops. I just outed myself. Yeah, I love Full House, but no, I actually haven't seen Open House.
Okay, don't. It's garbage. But the legend.
Okay.
A family starts to notice something awry about the house they're living in. Things go missing, other things that shouldn't be there inexplicably show up, and eerie footsteps are heard. Next thing you know, the whole clan is found murdered under circumstances only they and their squatter/killer will ever know. The truth. The true tale of terror takes place nearly a century ago on a small island, isolated German farm named, oh god, Hinterkaifeck. That's, okay, fucking Germans. Sometime around the... I love you, Germans. Sometime
That's
around...
my people.
Is that... Are you... Oh, right. Never mind. I'm not going to say that.
Oh, oops. Germans.
Sometime around mid-March of 1922, the farm owner, Andres... Oh my god, that was the whitest way I could have said that. Andres!
Andre. Sorry, Andre. Really. Andre.
Okay.
White ass. White ass.
Andre Gruber began to notice a lot of ominous things happening on his property. He found weird footprints, keys went missing, unknown items mysteriously showed up, and the family began hearing footsteps in the attic. It seemed that people were less sensitive to obviously terrifying things back into the good old days, because the Grubers shrugged off the weirdness and went back to waxing their mustaches, souring their kraut, and whatever else German families occupied themselves with in the 20s.
Wow, they're hating on us too. Souring our kraut.
Oh, I love cracked. On the evening of March 31st of 1922, Andres and his wife, his daughter, and his 2 grandchildren and the maid were all brutally killed by someone wielding a mattock, which is a tool that's half pickaxe, half axe, and all deadly. At least whoever did this wasn't completely a terrible guest, though, since the animals were well fed when the family's bodies were discovered 4 days later. To this day, the identity of the killer remains a hotly contested mystery, but given that the victims were named Gruber and the murderer had a penchant for skulking around above the ceiling, it is hard not to imagine the suspect as some sort of psychotic German John McClane.
Jesus.
Oh, okay. 6. Man's checks. Wait, man checks malfunctioning oven and gets trapped inside. The legend is basically that a guy goes to check the oven and he gets stuck.
And dies from the fumes.
Yeah, I don't. No, it's on.
Oh,
yeah, right.
Uh-oh.
The truth is the big industrial oven at a British kayak factory was on the fritz, so his supervisor decided to look inside to see what was wrong. Without telling anybody else, while he was poking around, another worker managed to fix the problem. Then, not knowing anybody else was inside, he turned the oven back on. Also, the worker was engaged to the supervisor's daughter.
Uh-oh.
The doomed man ironically found himself at the the mercy of the oven's safety measures, as its doors automatically slammed shut and locked once it was turned on, and the oven's temperature rose to over 500 degrees. He presumably cried out for help, but nobody could hear him over the sound of the kayaks being made.
Oh boy.
Yeah. In a bitter touch, the man somehow found a crowbar inside the oven, but before he could pry the door open, he passed out from shock. His body was only discovered when people noticed smoke billowing out of the oven.
Oh, well, we cremated you.
Actually, I won't read all of them in depth. The next one is the pig pen of death. Basically just like, pigs eat everything you will eat. They will eat you.
Yeah.
Number 4 is a woman with a headache discovers an unwelcome guest in her brain. The legend tale involves somebody going on a sunny Mai Tai sipping vacation only to return with a tropical horror crawling not through their crotch, but through their brain. The lesson: never leave your home without a hat, or just never leave your home.
Fair.
The truth is, previously in the series, we brought you the story of a woman who came back from a vacation with maggots in her ear canal. Ugh.
Oh.
But this spiritual sequel ups the puke factor tenfold. Ugh. A 30-year-old woman from Garland, Texas began suffering from severe headaches and vision problems, figuring she should see the doctor. Duh. The good news, there was nothing wrong with her brain. The bad news, except for all the translucent jelly lights like sacs living there, that is. Ugh. If you're wondering, each one contained a baby tapeworm.
Oh, in the brain?
Yep.
Fuck no. Tapeworms can fuck off.
Yeah. Number 3, never let your psychotic ex cook dinner for you. That's a good life lesson.
Right?
Ever since Glenn Close made a generation of guys squirm with her rabbit-killing ways, stories of jilted lovers cooking up their ex-beloved's furry friends have captured...
Dude, that's from that movie, fucking Fatal Attraction.
Isn't that what you're named after?
God. Yeah. Well, I still haven't... That's what my mother said. Okay, so I was like, Mom, where did I get my name? And she's like, well, your dad saw a movie with someone named Paige or something, and that's what he named you after. And I was like, oh, cool, great, good story. What movie? And she's like, oh, I think it was Fatal Attraction, but I can't find anybody in that movie named Paige, so I don't know, but that's the movie she associated my name with, so...
Okay.
That's great. Also saw that movie way too young.
Oh no.
So go on. Glenn Close, yeah, she's a fucking awesome person though.
Yeah, she is. There's no better way to establish a character as candidate for the worst person ever than having them kill an adorable pet. Yes. The true story. Ryan Eddie Wantonpao of Palo Cedro, California, sounds like a real charmer. After his girlfriend broke it off due to his abusive ways, Ryan decided to reinforce her decision by attacking her in her home. The woman managed to flee, but when she returned to her apartment, both Wantonpaw and her Pomeranian bear were gone.
Aww. The Pom's gone.
A month later, Ryan and the woman reconciled, and he offered to whip her up a home-cooked meal. After the romantic rendezvous, Wantonpaw solved the mystery of the missing pet with these stomach-turning texts. Oh my god, it's basically like... so the text says, "Oh, and P.S. How's your dog taste? I thought it was better than barbecue and those Hawaiian buns. I guess I couldn't...
What?
I guess you could bury what you didn't eat. Aw, the smile on my face when you read this is priceless."
What the fuck? So did she not... Oh my.
Yeah. Not long after, a small bag appeared on her doorstep, and when the women opened it, she found Bear's tiny severed paws inside.
Oh my god. No. No. Oh my god.
Oh my god. Okay, moving on.
I hope he's in prison.
It doesn't say.
Oh, he probably is.
Probably.
Oh, that's sick.
That's so sick. The number 2 is the text from under the bed. The legend.
Sounds nice.
The legend is, it's the ultimate pee your pajama slumber party horror story. A teenage girl is shaken when she starts receiving threatening, obscene phone calls, but she manages to convince herself there's nothing to worry about. As is usually the case, the teenage intuition is dead wrong, and she later discovers the creep at the other end of the line was within striking distance the entire time. The truth. On July of 2014, a 16-year-old girl from Chester, England, unexpectedly found herself in the middle of basically every slasher movie ever. The girl started receiving messages from a local 18-year-old sweet talker named Kyle Ravenscroft, who texted that he was watching her and he wanted her to awaken to the sight of him hanging outside of her window. And those were just his suave opening lines. At midnight, our protagonist received another terrifying text as she was getting ready for bed. I am in your house.
Oh. Kyle, go home.
Go home, you're drunk. Go.
Kyle.
True to genre traditions, our victim wrote the text off as a joke and didn't bother to call the police. The girl would sleep most of the night in her mom's bed, but later when she returned to her room, she noticed a row of shoe boxes she kept beside her bed had been disturbed. This is the part where you cover your eyes and beg the hapless teenager to not look under the bed, even though you know she's totally going to. Sure enough, she looked and found Kyle had been lurking under her bed all along. Thankfully, the girl escaped unharmed, but you know she's going to be checking under her mattresses with a flashlight every night until she's 80.
Oh, I would get rid of the bed frame altogether.
Yeah, just have it on the floor.
Hell, that's actually what I do right now, just so like things can't get lost under there, or like animals can't hide under there.
Yeah,
I just don't have a bed frame, so fuck a bed frame. Nobody's gonna grab me from under there.
None of them demons.
Hell
no. Charlie No Face is the number 1.
Is he number 1?
Yes.
Number 1.
If you grew up around Pittsburgh, there's a good chance you spent your whole childhood terrified of the Green Man or Charlie No Face, who is said to wander dark alleys and lonely country lanes at night. The story went that Charlie No Face lost said face foolishly playing near power lines, which make him sound like a character dreamed up by the power company for electrical safety PSAs. The truth. This is the rare, terrifying case of kids on the playground getting the story pretty much dead on. Charlie No Face was a man named Raymond Robinson, who really was cursed with a grotesquely deformed face, skull-like. On the summer day of 1919, a young, not yet faceless Raymond and his friends thought it would be a swell idea to horse around on a local electrified trolley bridge. A boy had died on the bridge a year earlier, and all the kids knew this, but electricity had just been invented, so parents didn't bother to teach them basic stuff like don't play on the proven deadly electrical bridges. Sure enough,
yeah, don't do that.
Raymond got a dose of 1200 volts, which scorched his face like a blowtorch. His eyes were cooked in their sockets.
Oh my.
His nose was burnt off, and his left arm was destroyed up to the elbow. Despite absorbing enough electricity to melt Frankenstein's neck bolts, Raymond somehow survived his ordeal. His face obviously did not. For the rest of his life, Raymond led mostly a solitary existence, only leaving the house at night because he didn't want to give kids nightmares. That's sad.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Poor guy.
I know. That one's sad.
Oh, wow. Like, yeah. Oh, poor guy.
So
one stupid thing.
Right? Well, I mean, yeah, 1919, electricity had just been invented, so...
Oh, like,
come on.
Oh, shit. And they didn't have safety measures to, like, prevent it and stuff?
Not at all.
No.
So, 9 creepy urban legends that are true. Now, poem?
Sure. Who's that by again?
It was on Cracked.
Oh, Cracked, yes.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, that was good. That was nice.
It was nice.
That was nice. Except not, because...
It was nice to us.
Reason. Yeah. Right. Our version of nice. So the last poem I have is also from Identity, the movie.
Oh, is it really?
Uh-huh. Yeah. So this is great. This is another thing that's like stuck with me my whole life. Well, since I've seen that movie when I was young. So it is called, it is by Hugh Mearns, and it is called, Antigonish, I Met a Man Who Wasn't There.
Is it literally, like, anti-gone-ish?
I don't know how to say that. I don't know how to say it. Antigonish?
Whatever. Close enough.
English is my first language, but it's still a little bit hard sometimes. Like, English speakers, you know what I'm saying. Anyways. And then when I went to Iceland and, like, their language is so much more complicated and weird, I'm just like, whoa, okay. Like, yeah. Learning a second language is nuts. Anyway, so, here we go, class. Yesterday upon the stair, I met a man who wasn't there. He wasn't there again today. I wish he'd go away. When I came home last night at 3, the man was waiting there for me. But when I looked around the hall, I couldn't see him there at all. Go away, don't you come back anymore. Go away, and please don't slam the door. Last night I saw upon the stair a little man who wasn't there. He wasn't there again today. Oh, how I wish he'd go away.
Huh.
Yeah, and when I was about 11, probably, yeah, when I saw this movie, I kind of, it freaked me out, because I was home alone a lot, you know, and the dark at the top of a staircase when you're at the bottom is kind of one of those things that scare me.
Yeah.
So, so that poem, like, you know, like, what if you just turn the corner and look at the top of the stairs in the dark and you see a fucking guy there or something? Yeah. Nope. Get the blowtorch, fellas. Yeah. So, yeah.
Yay. Good poems.
Yay.
I like poems. That's one of the reasons why I want to start reading the scary stories, because I read the whole first book because it's an easy fucking read, and there's like 5 or 6 poems that are in there that were really fucking creepy, but I want to read them.
Yay. Well, thank you for joining our first RAHM Reads episode.
Yeah, definitely. If you want to send us your own reads that you want us to read, send them on Reddit or in the Facebook group, and that would be awesome. And
yeah, that'd be fun.
Well, yeah, basically anything you send us will either be used for this, our TILs, or our DDTKAs. So just expect it to be used somewhere.
Yeah, and we'll give you a shout out. Like, if you're a writer, you like to write, that would be cool.
Yeah.
Send us your stories. We'll read them and give you a plug.
Yeah, same with like short films or like YouTube videos and stuff.
Short films, art, music, literally whatever. We want to see your shit too, so please send it to us.
Yeah. Okay. So this is over. We're going to do our exits now.
Okay.
So we have our website, rainbowsandhorrormovies.com. You can contact us on there or via Gmail at rainbowsandhorrormovies@gmail.com. We have completely revamped our Patreon, and now you'll get pretty much everything, if not close to everything, at every tier. So it's really exciting. Go check that out.
Yes.
That's patreon.com/RAHM podcast. Find us on social media at RAHM podcast. I'm at the KDub. Paige is at Floral Coffin. And don't forget to rate, review, and share our stuff. I found out today that like comments are what gets us seen, so take that into account. Yeah. Yeah, we want to hear from you. We want to hear your stories. We want to see your shit.
Yeah, we want to see how great you are.
No judgments though.
And to be we just want to share in the community.
Yeah, we love it. So are we gonna do
so.
our new exits?
All right. Stay strange.
And unusual. Bye. Bye.